Hazardous waste management, safe collection and handling of chemical waste, used oil, and universal waste on campus. Hazardous waste pose a substantial hazard to human health or the environment when improperly managed. Waste is generated and collected from Wake Forest University staff in facilities and campus services, as well as from research laboratories and art studios located on Renolda campus, Wake Downtown, and the Center for Nanotechnology. Lab and studio waste is generally consistent waste streams generated on a regular basis. EHS picks these up weekly. Maintenance waste is usually generated sporadically and picked up as needed, or in the case of universal waste, collected by the maintenance teams. What makes a waste hazardous? There are four main categories for the types of waste: flammable, corrosive, toxic, and reactive. Flammables are liquids with a flash point less than 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The flash point is the temperature at which the vapors from the chemical will ignite on contact with a spark or a flame. The flash point temperature is listed on the safety data sheet. Liquids with a pH of less than 2 are considered acids, and liquids with a pH of greater than 12.5 are considered bases and hazardous. The pH of these liquids is listed on the safety data sheet. Toxic chemicals are chemicals considered toxic to human health or the environment when a listed concentration is exceeded. These include heavy metals such as arsenic, barium, cadmium, chromium, lead, mercury, selenium, and silver. Reactives are unstable chemicals or those that react violently. They react violently with water or form toxic gases when mixed with water, such as cyanide. And explosives include powder-actuated tool charges. Because of the nature of maintenance operations, the types of waste generated will vary from project to project, but some examples include flammable liquids such as thinners, gasoline, oil-based paint, corrosives such as coil cleaners, plumbing chemicals, and cleaning products, aerosols such as spray paint, spray adhesives, and refrigerants, landscape chemicals such as pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers, used motor oil and hydraulic oil, and universal wastes, which are fluorescent bulbs, batteries such as NiCad, lithium, or lead-acid batteries. The following are common wastes throughout facilities and campus services. If it is not listed below, it may still be a hazardous waste, so check before disposing. Rags. Rags with oil or gasoline contamination should be collected in a steel pail and brought to EHS for proper disposal. Paints. Oil-based and latex paints that can no longer be used are considered wastes. Call EHS for a pickup. Ballasts. Light ballasts may contain PCBs. Those that do must be properly disposed. If you are unsure if a ballast contains PCBs, check with your supervisor or EHS. And universal wastes. Fluorescent bulbs are collected in the team shops. Full bulb boxes are shipped via UPS for recycling. Batteries, such as NiCad, lithium, mercury, or lead acid, should be collected and brought to EHS for recycling. This is not the case for alkaline. Alkaline batteries may be thrown in the regular trash. Empty aerosol cans ought to be brought to the can puncture unit in fleet and punctured to drain any residual contents. The puncture cans are disposed in the general trash. Be sure not to puncture full cans or cans containing adhesives. To use the unit, place the can upside down, secure the cap over the can, and then push down on the handle to puncture the can and release the contents. Collection and disposal. Hazardous and other chemical waste may not be disposed in general trash or poured down sinks or storm drains. These wastes must be collected in dedicated containers that are properly marked. Some things to remember when collecting waste. The waste needs to be compatible with the container, so do not put corrosive waste in a metal container, which it will corrode. The containers must be closed unless you are adding waste to them, and they must be labeled. The container must be labeled with the contents and the words hazardous waste. Call the EHS department if you need assistance with the collection of hazardous waste. We can supply the proper container and label. Chemical waste spill or release. In the event of a spill or release of chemical waste, follow the procedures described in the Wake Forest University Integrated Contingency Plan, and the plan is located on the EHS website. Notify your supervisor as soon as possible. Do not put yourself in danger attempting to stop or control a spill. In the event of a spill or release, first try to identify the chemical, looking for a marking or a label. If it is safe to stay in the area, stop the release if it is safe to do so, using spill control equipment, and then call your supervisor or the ICP coordinator or emergency manager or university police. If it is unsafe to stay in the area, notify the occupants of the area to evacuate immediately. If you are indoors, shut the door. If it is safe to stay in the building, go ahead and call your supervisor or, again, the ICP coordinator, emergency manager, or the university police. If it is unsafe to stay in the building, pull the fire alarm and evacuate. Supplies for spill cleanup are located in the cage area inside the coal yard. There is also a pre-positioned cleanup kit just outside the cage for easy access. Within the kit, you will find PPE and absorbents. For PPE, make sure you first put on your personal protective equipment, which would include gloves, Tyvek, boots, and safety glasses prior to attempting to clean up a spill. And for absorbents, absorbent pads and booms work very well to clean up minor spills and are much easier to collect than loose vermiculite. If you are required to assist in a cleanup of a spill, follow these procedures. First, eliminate any ignition sources that may be present. Avoid contact with the spilled product, so put on your PPE. Stop the source of the release if it is safe to do so. Contain released oil or chemical with absorbent materials. Prevent released materials from entering sewers, water bodies, drains, or confined spaces. Restrict access to the impacted area. And if you're outside, keep unprotected personnel upwind of a spill. If you're inside, keep all personnel out of the room except those involved in spill cleanup. If the spill occurs on unpaved area, remove and dispose of all contaminated soil. And choose cleanup equipment that will not react with or be corroded by the spilled product. So you want to use explosion-proof or spark-proof equipment when necessary. Ensure recovered spill material is collected and containerized, labeled, and characterized, and then contact EHS for disposal. If you have any questions about collection and handling of hazardous and chemical waste, call the EHS department at 4325. Thank you.